What's up, Adam? My boy Javi. We're both real estate here, trying to build some exposure. Put certain people on. I know the world that we live in. There's a lot of people who are trying to get out of whatever situation and then just get into something better. I know I could say for myself as well as Javi that we're both trying to get out the rat race. Also,
Yeah, bro,
help people get out too.
Yeah.
And we learned by the same way, basically, that real estate was that blueprint to get us out. So we're just here trying to spit game, talk about a little bit about ourselves and what we're in. We're actually in different fields of the same industry. Or if you want to go ahead and
Yeah, man. So we met because we both grew up in Queens, and we just pretty much met over social media. I mean, social media is one of the biggest things in today's industries. No matter what you're doing, like if you're in sales or you're doing like fitness or you got something that you're passionate about, I just feel like social media is like the gateway to opportunities, and it brought like people like us together where we just met. We were young. We didn't really have any plan at that time. We were just pretty much. I think we met over soccer. We used to play soccer, so we love connecting over that. But obviously, growing up in New York City, like all there is just partying, like having fun, fucking clubs. Like
bro.
we were kind of involved, so
kind of.
So yeah, we connected. We connected over that, and it was I knew from the start from meeting him, Adam, that like, damn, this is a guy that, he stays true to his word. I knew he always had that vision. I feel like he saw it in me too, that we always had this idea of wanting to be something more. We were just pretty much stuck in, I wouldn't say in a trap, but in a way it kind of is a trap.
It's like a loop.
If you mentally let it get to you. So
little background story on like you and how you got to where you are today. If you want to.
Yeah. So I started real estate about 2 years ago. I just pretty much, I don't know what to do with my life, man. I was working in a sprinkler company, and I was touring homes all the time, fixing sprinklers. I was getting paid pretty well. It wasn't bad. I had a pretty good job, good boss. It's really easy sometimes to become complacent when your life seems like everything's going in your favor. And sometimes you just got to realize that you got to get out of your comfort zone to make a change. So I knew something had to change. I didn't know what it was exactly, but being around these mansions, seeing these beautiful homes, working in these beautiful, I was fucking going in like $200 million properties, bro. Like homes that you had to go off the grid. I feel like I was in a Call of Duty mission, bro. Like sneaking up on some mansion and shit with lions in the front, bro. I even think I've serviced like cartel homes, to be honest, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Got the dudes with the white suit outside at Monday morning, 9 a.m., like making his phone calls. I'm like, this guy's definitely ordering a hit right now. So I was just around that shit, and I was like, dude, I gotta be that guy. I gotta be that guy that has his house, that has a mansion, and I'm like, I don't know what it is that's gonna get me there, but it's gonna be something. And then I came across real estate. I was just driving by, I kept seeing all these for sale signs, seeing the agents with the nice suits and the pictures. I'm like, yo, these people must make pretty good money. And I just started doing my research, and I didn't know what I was getting into, because real estate is hard as fuck, bro. It's not no fucking, you don't just get in this business and start making bank, like, unless you got connections and shit. But, I took a leap, and I decided to go for it. I got my real estate license, and I just hit the ground running. That was it. I didn't look back. And I know my son Adam here, he's in the wholesaling space. So, yeah, break that down, how you got into that and why you chose that space specifically.
Yeah, I didn't even think about real estate, even though I did have that background. I remember when I was probably like in middle school, everybody hates going to school, especially when your mind works differently from other people. I hated going to school, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure, like, looking back at it now, reflecting after middle school, I just completely stopped going to school. Like high school, I don't know how I graduated, didn't go to college, but my mind always worked differently. I always thought if there was something that I needed to know, I could figure it out myself by asking somebody or learning it myself through doing it in the process. So back to how I got into it was whenever I would call out of school or I was too young to just walk out, I would call my mom and be like, "Ma, I don't feel good today. Like, come pick me up." And in that time, my mom was working in real estate.
Okay.
So she was actually an agent herself. That was when I was probably like 7th, 8th grade. and I would just call like, yo, come pick me up, and through second-handedly, I would hear my mom making those cold calls in the office, and just being around that, and that's how actually I knew about real estate, right? And looking back at it, my original plan was to play soccer, and I took that pretty far to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore because I just put so much stress and stuff on my body that my Achilles ended up completely separating.
Shit, man.
I couldn't walk for like 8 months. I was in a cast, and then when I tried to get back into it after the injury, the other one
It's just
broke.
not the same, bro.
The
Yeah,
other
it's
one
not the
broke,
same,
bro.
man.
So at that point, I'm just like, this is a sign from God that if He's gonna take something, the thing that I want the most out of life is because there's something better waiting for me. And before I even got into real estate, I was making fast money, and the New York Queens life. If you know, you know. Obviously, that doesn't last because you always got to be looking over your shoulder and be very cautious. And most of the time, you might be paranoid. So, I was making good money, but I wanted to make more money, and legit, it didn't happen until last year where I just got mad at myself. I'm like, I need to be making crazy amounts of money because I would see these 17, 18-year-olds flexing on Instagram, on TikTok, that they made this much in a month from, clicking a couple keys on their laptop or picking up the phone and making a phone call. I'm like, dude, there's something that I'm missing here, and it's not connections, it's not the opportunities, because the opportunities are everywhere. That the only thing that lacks in society is the mentality. So once you have that knowledge and you teach yourself how to take advantage of certain opportunities, then you're well on your way. So I went on a deep dive on the internet to figure out what wholesaling was, because I always knew about it since 2020, but I just didn't know exactly how to do it. And I remember when I had just moved out to Long Island from Queens, I seen an old ugly house that would have been the perfect wholesale deal, and I would always walk by it, and literally diagonally across from my house, and a few months later I see it get fixed and flipped, and I'm like, that's money that I missed out on. That's literally right in front of me. So I really got to figure out how to do this so that that doesn't pass me by ever again. So that's how I got into wholesaling. Wholesaling basically is flipping contracts, getting someone to agree to sell you their house, and then in turn flipping the contract to an investor for a profit. That profit might be 10, 20, 30, 50. I actually closed a deal with someone that I didn't even know, who I met on Facebook, and we ended up making $128,000 in assignment fees. And
Nice.
all I did was bring the buyer. Like he just was posting it every day on the Facebook groups, and I just hit him up like, yo, I see you're having a little bit of difficulties trying to sell this. I have a buyer, and if it's a good deal, we'll take it.
Yeah,
It ended up closing 14 days, which is pretty typical for a cash deal, because as wholesalers, we buy cash. It's not our money, so I'm using $0. I'm just signing the contract and then assigning it to the buyer. So it's pretty simple. I did think about getting my license, but at the same time, I feel like as an agent, you put a lot of time into studying and things that I didn't really have time to do, right? Because I feel, I'm a little older, and the quickest, the way that I learned to make the most capital, and even now I see wholesalers making more than real estate agents. It's the truth.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when but I wanted to build capital, and I wanted to build it as fast as possible, so then I could go and buy my own real estate, buy my own properties, scale that business. Right now I'm single family homes, multi-families, like duplexes, stuff like that. Eventually I want to scale, get to commercial, where those assignment fees are $100,000 assignment fees on the regular every single deal.
At the end of the day, bro, the hustle's the same,
Yeah, exactly.
The hustle is the same, and the good thing about this industry is that it's really like you compare it to other businesses, like, if you were to start a clothing brand or something, like, there's money you got to put into it.
Yo.
This is one of the industries, both of ours, where it's the same thing, where we have different labels and we do different tasks, and our jobs are essentially different, but at the end of the day, we don't really have to put much money into it, which is really, like, probably one of the greatest aspects of this business. And like you said, bro, like, we're in this not to just be people who make the money and just move on with our lives and just be complacent. Like, there's a point where we got into this business because there's more than just wanting to work. We want to make the money work for us. So
Yeah.
we definitely have the same goals, of course, in that aspect of wanting to invest in properties, having cash flow for us, do flips. Like my big thing is I want to get into flips, bro. I want to learn about construction. I want to learn. I want to pull it with the bulldozer, knock the fucking house down, and build that shit back up. So I mean, and then there's also the commercial aspect, like owning a fucking huge condo in Miami or something like that. Like that'd be sick too. So
Hotels
it's just time will
rent.
tell. And I really like what you said before about the opportunity you were taken away from you, being that soccer was your life, bro, and you had that shirt from you.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, I feel like I don't know if a lot of people can relate to this. I did at some point too, where you feel like when you have an injury, because I had the same shit. I broke my ankle, and I was like, I had the same dreams. I wanted to be a professional soccer player, all that. I feel like when people go through adversity in life and they feel like that one thing that they had going for them is gone, they lose that sight of motivation, and that's kind of like where people go downhill, because then it's like, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to play soccer anymore. I'm going to just go, smoke weed. I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to hang out. Your life just goes downhill. Yeah. So the fact that we both saw this as a blessing more than like the condemnment, that's just
definitely a blessing.
Very important, bro.
Also, like, circling back, since we're on the topic, since I was able to take soccer so far, I actually found myself, the way that I found motivation and the way that I found being able to be consistent was literally just tapping into that mentality of that kid who would wake up early, sleep early, eat, sleep, shit, and dream about soccer. I just tapped into that old mentality and just applied it to something else, and since then it's really, really, really beneficial.
It's a blueprint.
When you have that hunger for something that is your dream, and you're gonna follow it no matter what, and no one's gonna steer you off track. So I found myself tapping into that. Now I'm pretty sure, like, you have the same kind of daily routine where you wake up early, hit the gym, take care of your body. You might take care of your body a little bit more than me, because I have a little bit of an addiction, but we'll get into that later.
Nah, man, it's like, and sometimes we just have these, I feel like in a way I have an addiction too, bro. Like, I can't stop eating sometimes. And like, that's why I work so hard in the gym, because I want to just eat whatever. And we're not perfect at the end of the day, so, people really feel like they have to be what they see on social media. You see the guys out there jacked, making millions with Lambos and shit. Like, we'll get to that point, of course. It's just time will tell. I mean, obviously, there's levels to this shit. There's levels to having the mansions, to living the dream, taking flights, private jets, making 50,000 a week. Shit like that. It's all about the hustle. And I feel like the fact that we're going through it and we got that positive mindset, like, I'm pretty sure you have the same mindset where you're in it for the long run. You don't even care if you fuck up along the way and you hit some holes and you have to like readjust and do other shit. It's all just a process of life, bro. I mean, and we have shit that we have to get over and figure out about ourselves, but that's the beauty of life, man. It's just pretty much knowing we had shit that we go through and that we're just gonna like eventually be able to leave in the past one day.
Yeah. And another thing for why, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. But the biggest thing in when you get into something that's life changing, your why has to be something that keeps you up at night. That, if you think about it, could make you cry, could put you in an emotional state, and just kind of, I guess, piss you off, or something that motivates you to be like, okay, this is why I'm doing this, and your why has to be, like I said, has to make you cry, has to make you lose sleep at night, has to make you hungry as shit, to the point where you don't even feel like eating during the day, because you haven't accomplished certain goals on a daily basis. Like, I actually do it pretty often, where I starve myself. Like, I don't eat until like 8-10, sometimes later at night. A lot of times when I can't sleep at night, I'll just stay up, wait till 4 a.m. so I could just train. Recently, that's been happening a lot. So if you're looking at me now and I look a little wacky, it's because I lose sleep a lot. But it's things that we do and sacrifice, and man,
doing the work, man, doing the work, and just putting your head down. That's it. It's really just about putting your head down. Like, at the end of the day, like, people want to see results, so fast, and when they don't see the results, they're like, "What the fuck's going on? Why am I not seeing the results?" Because like, bro, you gotta keep putting in the work. Like, you think the people that made it to the top didn't go through what you're going through right now?
Yeah.
You don't think that there was people that were sitting at home, crying at night, thinking about their mom, trying to get their mom out the slums, or maybe they got a girlfriend they want to take care of, or you got a kid or something like that. Like, I mean, bro, like, it's just, you really have to find that why. And like you said, we'll break it down in another video. But I also feel like people need to use hate like as a fuel, because fuel is very fucking fuel's dangerous, bro. Someone that's fueled, like, bro, that's the most dangerous person. You look at Mike Tyson, bro. He grew up. He was the youngest champ ever, and he only did that after his trainer died. Once his trainer died, I'm pretty sure he was crying. He was probably distraught. He was fucked up, and he used that anger and those emotions to become heavyweight champion at 20 years old. And the fact is that he had that, like, and a lot of people got to find that within themselves. It could be anything. It could even be that teacher in 5th grade that told you that you're never gonna have a nice car and a nice house, and that you're just always gonna be a drug dealer or some shit. So you always gotta use those experiences in your life to help you.
Yeah, speaking about Mike Tyson, he's actually one of my biggest, idols.
Oh, same here, bro. Same here, bro. I'd love to have Mike Tyson on the podcast, bro. I'd be sick. One day,
eventually, watch. I named my dog after Mike Tyson, bro. And on top of that, I met him last year. So now when I meet him again at the next, with the smoke shop and the conventions and stuff, next time I go up to him, be like, yo, come on the podcast, whatever.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So that might happen. So we'll see what's up. I already, have a little familiarity with him. I think he remembers me, but only because, when I know I'm gonna meet someone, I make sure I make some sort of first impression and impact. So when I met Mike Tyson, I was probably pissed drunk because I was just making a bunch of jokes and stuff, and so.
Yo, bro, more into that. I want to know. You met Mike Tyson. I was just like trying to hold in my excitement right now, but I can't, bro. You met Mike Tyson. Like, I know he does all that. Like,
he has
he's got a big weed brand and stuff.
Yeah, so. He has his own brand, smoke shop. So I went with my boy who actually owns the shop that we're in right now, courtesy to him.
Yeah, shout out. Appreciate it.
Quan, bro, definitely one of the minds that made me who I am today. Definitely a big influence. Taught me a lot. He a mentor at the end of the day, and we'll definitely get him on one of the shows. And
sure, man.
He just hit me up one day like, yo, I don't know what you're up to, but we're about to go to Vegas. We're gonna meet Mike Tyson. He's gonna be there. The guy who's the founder of Raw Papers. That guy with the long hair, Josh. I met him too. I have actually a funny video that I'll show you later.
Yeah.
And I mean, Mike Tyson he was at the booth for a little bit. It was a crowded ass line, whole bunch of chicks, whole bunch of dudes trying to get pictures with him, stuff. My boys, they went to a meeting or whatever, and I just got stuck in the hotel, and they're like, yo, we're gonna come back in an hour to pick you up so we could go meet Mike. And I'm like, all right, let's look around. I'm in the hotel room. I see a 6-pack of Coronas, some limes, and some tequila, Patron. And I was like, all right, let's get ready for this guy. So I made like a little drink. I would open the Coronas, pour a little shot or two of Patron inside the Coronas with some lime, drink that. Hour goes by and I'm feeling nice, man. I'm feeling nice.
Buzz, right?
And then we're walking around, whatever. We probably waited online for like 10, 15 minutes till we actually got up there and met him. But when I met him, I was like, yo, Mike, bro, you look small, man. I'm probably half your age, and I look like I could beat your ass. And then that's when we took that picture like that together, and he's just, it was funny. He started laughing, too, and shortly after that, bro, literally, I think anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes right after, he's just gone, leaving all the people back. So I'm just like, all right, cool. So, he definitely, he might remember me next time or whatever. I was actually dressed kind of like how I used to dress, all black with the shades on, with my bag and everything. I'm very big on first impressions. So this weekend actually I went to an event, and I met some guy who basically lives the life that I pursue. The blueprint that I have, the goals that I have is his lifestyle at the moment. So Yeah, I met up with him. I made sure, like I said, first impressions, everything. I put on a suit, put on a big trench coat. You know, I probably was the only one dressed like that, but I don't care. Like, you know, once you stop caring about other people's opinions and put your own self best interest over everything, you know, it speaks
100%.
volumes.
Yeah.
Just going there alone is good. The next step is your presentation, and then how you speak and how you carry yourself. So I met this guy, multi-millionaire at this point, only like 2 3 years older than us, bro. But he originally got into wholesaling, and that's how he got rich. So, you know, the more and more I get into it, the more signs I see, the more people I talk to and connections that I make. It's just, this is the right thing for me. And basically, essentially, all wholesaling is picking up the phone, calling this person, you know, I'll buy your house, they agree, and then, you know, end the call the next person, I got this for you, and that's it.
The rest
Literally.
is history. Yeah.
Yep. That's how you just, you know, this guy made $500,000 in his first year, and, you know, scaled it, started investing in businesses. And that's exactly what I intend to do, because, you know, the dreams that I have are out of this world. I might be crazy, but, you know, it is what it is. The definition of crazy is seeing something that nobody else sees.
Dude,
So, you know, those patients that see ghosts and stuff, they're labeled as crazy. But a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful people, they're labeled crazy too, because they see a vision for themselves that nobody else sees. And you know, the regular minded people, the people who are stuck in the rat race, and their mind is washed by society, they'll tell you you're crazy. They'll tell you your dream's crazy. That's normal, 100% normal. Jeff Bezos was crazy. You know, I can't even go off the top of my head, but there's so many people that were labeled as crazy just because they saw something that other people didn't. And, you know, me, myself, you as well, there's definitely a lot of people. That's why we're trying to put this message out, and you know, get some traction here. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're not alone, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, of
so
course.
you definitely just lock in, do what you have to do. You know, you're the only one who sees your path at the end of the day, and if you stay true to it, and you pray to God every day. I'm very religious. I pray to God every single day, but I don't go to church on Sundays.
Yeah,
I don't feel like that's very necessary,
Yeah, I'm the same
because
way.
I just have that relationship where I could just talk to him whenever. I don't ask for anything. I just thank him for everything. You know, I haven't asked for anything in so long, and I don't even feel like asking, because the blessings that I've had and the blessings that I have is definitely, you know, something to be grateful about, and I make sure that I am. And
Amen.
you know,
At this point, you're just showing gratitude.
Yo.
I feel you. I just recently started reading the Bible, actually.
Okay.
I got it in Spanish. My girl ordered it in Spanish, so I mean, even she's like, "Damn, what the fuck?" Like, and I'm like, "You gotta understand, this is like the Bible in English is like it has these complicated words, thy, this, and you know, the he shall." So obviously in Spanish, we're both trying to decipher the Bible, but I get the idea. I mean, I understand what I'm reading, and yeah, I think it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, to connect with God. I know a lot of people don't believe in God and they don't have faith, but for those people, man, you gotta believe in something, man. Like, you gotta have something, because if you don't have a belief of something greater, you're just never gonna be able to achieve anything. Because I mean, for me, and I know for you, God has made all these things possible. I look back on my life, I see things that have happened to me, to people around me, and how blessed they've been, and I'm just like, bro, that was God. That was God that did that. You know, I should be dead by now, honestly. Like, I have had not fatal, but I had one fatal accident where I was drunk driving, and I flipped the car. That's a story for another day, but I'm just like, I came out of that without a scratch, and I'm just like, wow. That was when I really realized, like, damn, like, God really put me here for a purpose, bro. Because if it wasn't for anything, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
it's just
always give praise to the Most High. I'm pretty sure anybody could say this, but me and my personal experiences, when I felt like I was doing the most with my life, like whether it was playing soccer or making money, or just, you know, when I was in love or whatever it is, I found myself thanking God most of the time, mostly with soccer, praying before a game, praying in the morning, praying after a game, before at night, like just being overall generally grateful and happy, and Even when things aren't going the way that you want them to, and you're at your lowest, and everything seems like it's going wrong. Like you might be in debt, you might have lost your car in an accident, you might have no money in your bank account, you might, whatever the case is, and you feel like everything's going left. You still hold on to that faith, and you still thank God that you're still here. You still have your freedom. You still have your health. You still have, a bunch of things that we overlook on a daily basis. Even like the basic things. Once you keep that faith, then tomorrow you might wake up and everything might just go right for you.
Yeah, that's so true, man. That's like 100% how I feel about life. It's just really about being blessed for the day you were given and for the day that you're gonna have, and that's about it, man. I mean, God's gonna test us.
Yeah,
constantly. And they say that when you are given everything by God and you're at your highest, the devil will come.
Yeah.
The devil will try to test you, and I'm not trying to make this like very religious focus, but it's just true, man. It's just inevitable. I mean, there's gonna be points in your life where you're gonna come through situations where you're gonna be tested, whether you're gonna go this path or this path, and it's really up to you at that point to have developed the life skills to be able to go the right path and not see the negative, not go back to your old ways, not do the things that are not going to help you progress in life. Because I feel like a lot of people have potential to be successful. It's just you're not really in your head, they're not really in the right headspace.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's really the issue now with people. A lot of people are just very complacent. And I always say that if you really feel like you have nothing going for your life and you're like, damn, I'm working so many hours a week and this and that, and I'm up the ass with bills, like start finding yourself into fitness. Like, I'm all for religion and praising God, but a big factor in success is getting your fitness right. And I know I've seen you, sometimes you be posting, you be doing like 4 or 5 mile runs.
Yeah.
You waking up early as fuck and shit. So, I mean, I be running every day too. Yeah. So I mean, dude, fitness is
so
is
I
crazy.
look at it as like the law of attraction, right? If you go on your social medias, if you go on YouTube, Instagram, all those live streams, everything, most of those people that are at the level where they have the mansions and they have the Lambos and they have the watches and the girls and everything, every single one of those people is built, like their body is built. And that's why I go into law of attraction. When you take care of yourself and you're right physically, mentally, and health, like your health wise overall, your mind is right and your body is right, then everything else just starts coming to you. You go look at a house and you're wearing a nice suit and everything fits you snug, but your muscles are popping out. The person might be like, okay, this person looks like a professional, very serious, takes care of their body. So, I'll trust this person to do business with, because they might treat me the same way they treat themselves. At the end of the day, you want to do business with people that take care of their own just as much as they will you.
I mean, I know for a fact, me personally, if I'm gonna buy something, if I'm gonna buy a car, if I'm gonna buy, if I'm gonna buy a house, I'll do it myself. But if I'm gonna buy something, and the guy who's representing me is someone who looks like he takes care of himself, I mean, that just shows a lot. I mean, if this guy could be so disciplined to the fact where he looks this certain way, I mean, there's just no doubt he's gonna take care of me the same way that he takes care of himself. So, definitely, if you're looking to find that answer of, what do I do with my life? What is my purpose? Just start exercising, bro. You don't even have to. No one's saying to go to the gym and bench 2 plates tomorrow.
Nobody's telling you to run 5 miles and try.
Nobody's saying to do 5 miles, fuck around, catch a heart attack or some shit, bro. Like, nah. That's not what I'm saying, man. I'm saying like just get out there, man. If you're, everybody takes it at their own, pace. I mean, I didn't start off doing 5-6 miles every day. Like, I started off walking, bro. I mean, we're little kids, we learn how to walk. But, just try to find something that you like and get into it. And people say like, oh man, but I don't have time. Oh, you guys, you do this real estate, you probably got a lot of time. Fucking make time, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying how it really should be. Make the time, bro. If it means you wake up a little earlier, or if it means that you're gonna, not go home and binge watch that Netflix show, like, go fucking do your run. And that's it. Go do a 2-mile walk.
Yeah, hit the gym. That's another thing that I wanted to touch base on is to get to that next level in life, there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. You
Yeah,
know,
bro,
like
for
when we
sure.
were talking about how we met, playing soccer and partying and just being part of that scene. Nowadays, you try to check for either one of us at any of those places, and I promise you, you have the worst luck because, the sacrifices that we make is I don't go to no restaurant. I mean, you got a girl, so it's different,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
You
yeah,
know,
it's
a little bit, but unnecessarily going to restaurants and
right,
going
right,
to
of course.
clubs and parties and just going out to hang out and not do anything with your friends.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
you know, that like it's just literally the sacrifices and you saying how when people say I don't have time to do this or that, that's literally just an
Excuses,
excuse. It's an
exactly.
excuse because if you look at me, bro, there's times where I lose sleep like just waiting for it to hit 4 o'clock so I could hit that workout. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll stay up and I'll look at the time. I'll be like, oh shit, it's already 1:30. I might as well just wait till 4, and then it's 3 o'clock, and I'm just so anxious to just get that workout in, and get the day started. Um, but there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made for you to become who you set out to be. If you really set out to be someone who's very successful, there's a bunch of sacrifices need to be made. You can't. And the reasons why it takes certain people a little longer is because God is trying to, like you said, when you're up there, the devil is right there at every corner. So the reason why it takes certain people longer is because you have to fight those demons and be able to have that mentality and that strength when you are up there, that you just easily say no and it doesn't phase you at all. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
facts. No,
Because
that's
that
so
could really
true.
just put you all the way back down just because you weren't built right. So, the trials
Facts.
and tribulations, everything is for a reason, 100%. And yeah, bro.
Nah, dude. I mean, I know we've definitely had our demons, bro, for sure. And
They still come around, man.
they still come around. They still test us. We still try to not give in because once we give in, we're giving the devil power, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give all power to God. And man, you got to think about it too, man. You and I really like what you said before. Like you got this guy that does the wholesaling, and
Yeah.
then you want the life he has. And what did you do? You got in contact with him because that's the whole. People think that like getting to where they want to be is complicated. It's really not. If you really think about it, if you're scrolling one day on Instagram and you're like, man, I want this guy's life, find him. Fucking hit him up. Find a way to reach out. I mean, even if you can't get in touch with that guy personally, find someone else like him on a smaller scale that's still kind of doing things like that and just connect, man, because they say that if you want to live the life of, whoever it is that you aspire to be like, you have to be around them. You have to be
Yeah.
around people that are like them. And people really think that it's this really hard, difficult thing. I mean, no doubt about it, it's hard as fuck. I'm not saying that it's a walk in the park, but
If it was easy, everyone would do it, my bro.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many people. I have people telling me like, "Oh, I think I want to get my like real estate license, or I want to get into
Oh
real
my
estate
God,
investing and this
bro.
and that." I'm like,
The amount of people that say
bro,
that, but they at this point I got used to just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, but they just, yo, I want to do this, bro. I see what you're doing, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, like I believe at this point I just tell I believe it when I see it. Like I want to see
yeah,
you
yeah. I
putting in the
mean, dude,
work.
yeah. I mean, I'm all for helping somebody out. Like, if
100%.
you have a question, people watching this, if you feel like you want to get into this, industry, you want to go the wholesaling route, hit up Adam. If you want to go down the real estate side, hit me up. Like, I'll be there with open arms, but I'm gonna just tell you how it is. So that's a conversation for another day of what you're getting yourself into, because it's not the lifestyle where you're just gonna be driving around on G wagon like props to my boy John McSherry. I mean, he got the G wagon and shit. Like he did the work to get there, but
Hell yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. It's not like that at first, at least. It takes time, bro. It's like any business.
That's someone that we also have in common. We both know John. I know John from when he was doing like a week-long course. So the way that I met John actually was through a referral. So I went to my first real estate event that was in Queens, and I didn't know nobody, but I, put on a nice shirt. I didn't even have a suit back then because none of them fit me. I was too big.
Damn, remember those times, bro? Like
I was-
borrowing your dad's suit and shit.
Nah, I couldn't even do that, bro, because it was either too big or too small. So I just put on a regular button up, some pants, And I was quick to learn that I was the one who was the most underdressed out of everyone. And I remember just being there, like trying to make a game plan on how I'm gonna attack this because I really wanted to get into wholesale, and I know I needed those contacts.
Right.
So I went up to. So what did I do? I was just like, all right, let me just think real quick. Who can I talk to that would be open to talking to me and whatever. So I was like, I might as well just speak to the lady who was hosting the event, and she was an attorney, so Esquire, and I went up to her and I asked her, oh, do you know if anyone here does wholesaling? That's something that I'm trying to pursue a career. And she's like, I don't think there's anyone here, but let me give you let my assistant take down your information. She'll send you a link, and then you could, that's how, I got into this week-long course with John, and every day we were just on Zoom calls talking about what it is, how to get into it, and, the details of it, right? And I remember the thing that I like to do a lot is show that I am capable of this. And how do you do that when there's a bunch of students and it's there's competition everywhere? You can't be naive either. Is show them how your mind works. So a way that I do that is asking questions that a normal person wouldn't be able to ask, right? So I don't remember all the questions that I asked, but I could recall the last question that I did was, what are some qualities in successful people that you notice that in turn correlate to successful business? And that was one of the biggest things that caught everyone's attention, and that's how I started, everyone knowing me for who I am. I went in my most humblest state. I didn't know anything, but I wanted to learn because, like you said earlier, you see people in nice $1,000 suits wearing fucking $100,000 watches.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
looking good, taking care of their body and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I'm in the right place. I don't see nothing else.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. It really takes a vision, man. Like you said before, people will call it crazy, but I mean, if there's people doing it, is it really that crazy? Really,
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so either, bro. So, dude, I think it's just a matter of having that self awakening, Like that's the first step, man. The first step is realizing that you're put on this planet for something more.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they take forever. A lot of people take forever to find that, or they never do. And I mean, it's sad because I feel like everyone has the potential. I mean, unless you're like physically disabled, which
even then,
unfortunately, even then, man. I think there's a guy that does like motivational speaking. He has like no arms. Like, bro, he's fucking doing it. Like, if he's doing it, why can't you? So
I saw some kid actually in Florida who had sickle cell anemia. He's my age. He's our age, bro, and he's doing commercial wholesale. And dude, he signed a deal with one of the biggest entrepreneurs in real estate. This guy has like a $500 million portfolio. He owns hotels all over Florida. And the way he got
Grant Cardone?
No, it's not Grant Cardone. It's
like
Ben
Florida
Mallow.
condos. I'm like, I just thought of Grant Cardone.
Yeah,
no, but I know. Yeah,
but yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it literally, I feel like something traumatic has to happen to you in life so you could get that fuel to really pursue something big in life, and a lot of that goes down to the why. We're gonna get into it in another video when we really do a deep dive on each other's backstories and stuff. But there's definitely, if you see someone successful, you got to think about what did you go through to have that hunger and have that motivation. And sometimes motivation doesn't exist, but that traumatic experience will have you constantly chasing a dream that you're the only one that sees that. You're the only one that sees it.
That's true, man. That's true. Like, a lot of people will grow up and they'll have a really tough upbringing. Mom doing drugs, surrounded by gangs and violence, and they're gonna just have that mentality that this is what I grew up around. This is what I'm supposed to be. So it's really not like that, man. I mean, I know it's very easy to fall on that kind of stereotype of like, oh man, I grew up in the projects and like all I've known is just gangbanging and stuff like that. But it really takes a lot to be able to just break free from that. And I know a lot of people out there probably going through situations, domestic relationship abuse and stuff like that, abusive parents, in a work environment where they feel like they're like a slave. But man, just really like like you said, just find that find that why. Like we'll talk about that later, but just find that why. Know that you're not meant to live the life that you think you are, and that you deserve a lot more. So that's pretty much.
Yep.
That's what I feel, man. I feel like
For
we all
sure.
deserve a lot more. It's
We
just
do.
you just gotta be willing to do the sacrifice, like you said, bro.
Yep.
You gotta be willing to eat shit in a way. Basically,
eat
and
shit and
metaphorically.
stack it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where I was eating straight off of McDonald's dollar menu, 7-Eleven. You know, I see everyone who I see people going out to restaurants and going out to parties, and those same people who are, you know, posting on their IG stories at the restaurant, at the parties, this and that, while I'm home studying, eating like dollar pizza or some shit off the dollar menu. A couple days go by, and those same people that they might ask, or in my case, right, they ask me for money at some point. It'll be like, yo, could I borrow some money? And in my head, I'm just thinking like, yo, like, you're going out to restaurants, you're going out to parties. Like, the reason why I have it is because I don't do that, and it's a little sacrifice. I'm 24 years old. You're also you're 25. Yeah, 24. So, you know, we're still young, even though we're not really young. But if you look at it as a marathon instead of a race, by the time we're 30, bro, that'll be a normal thing. Like, yo, I'm hungry. Let's go to Miami to get lunch or some shit.
Yeah, right, yo, let's hop
like
in the
that.
jet, bro. You taking my jet or your jet? Yeah. Which one?
No, but it's
That's
it's
true, bro.
part of the sacrifice, you know. Right now, I don't have any distractions for me whatsoever besides myself. If I let myself fall into it, you know, cut off a lot of friends too, a lot of toxic relationships. Those are also sacrifices that I've made. You know, not going out to restaurants, not going out to parties, not going out to if I go out somewhere, it's for an event. If I leave the house, it's to make money or to make moves. You know what I'm saying? I don't just leave for nothing.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
You know, and weekends, bro. The weekends, I'll be pulling lists, looking for new leads, finding out how to get more lead generation, getting a spreadsheet together so I can tackle it during the week. You know, reach out to people, go to open houses, put some offers in. At the end of the day, you never know. But yeah, bro, just putting in the necessary work, and eventually everything just starts clicking for you.
Yeah, shit. Man, this was a good episode, bro. That's a good first one, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
You got a lot more coming.
44 minutes. That's pretty good.
Oh,
so
yeah, it has
when
a
you
time?
when you